The connection of witches, warlocks, and the calcified pineal gland. In a secluded forest, where the trees whispered secrets and the moonlight cast eerie shadows, there was a coven of witches and warlocks who practiced ancient rituals. Among them was a woman named Dee, a high priestess known for her dark magic and her ability to manipulate the unseen forces of the world. Dee had always been fascinated by the pineal gland, a small, pinnacle-shaped organ in the brain often referred to as the third eye. She believed that by calcifying the pineal gland, she could unlock untold powers and gain control over the spiritual realm. The ritual. One night, under the light of a full moon, Dee gathered her coven for a ritual. They stood in a circle, their hands joined, their voices chanting in unison. By the power of the moon and the stars, we call upon the ancient forces to awaken the third eye, Dee intoned, her voice echoing through the forest. The air grew heavy, the temperature dropping as the coven channeled their energy. Dee closed her eyes, focusing on her pineal gland. She could feel it. A dull ache in the center of her forehead, a sign that the ritual was working. The calcification. Over time, Dee's pineal gland began to calcify, a process she believed would enhance her psychic abilities. But as the calcification progressed, she began to notice changes in herself. Her dreams became vivid and unsettling, filled with visions of darkness and despair. She would wake up in the middle of the night, her heart pounding, her mind racing with thoughts she couldn't control. But Dee didn't see these changes as a warning. She saw them as a sign that her powers were growing. The consequences. As Dee's pineal gland calcified further, she began to lose touch with reality. Her once sharp mind became clouded, her thoughts fragmented and chaotic. She would lash out at her coven, her anger and paranoia driving a wedge between them. But the worst part was the voices. Dee began to hear whispers in her mind, voices that weren't her own. They would tell her to do terrible things, and she found herself unable to resist. The awakening. One night, during a ritual, Dee collapsed, her body convulsing as the voices in her mind grew louder. "You've gone too far," one of her coven members said, his voice filled with fear. "The calcification. It's consuming you." Dee shook her head, her eyes wild with desperation. "No," she said. "I'm stronger than ever. I can control it." But deep down, she knew the truth. The calcification of her pineal gland had opened a door to the spiritual realm, but it had also unleashed forces she couldn't control. The aftermath. Dee's coven tried to help her, but it was too late. The calcification had taken hold, and Dee was lost to the darkness. She became a shadow of her former self, her mind consumed by the voices and her body weakened by the toll of the ritual. But Dee's story didn't end there.